Good evening and welcome to the virtual commencement ceremony for the class of 2020 of Northwest High School. On behalf of the students in the class of 2020, I would like to thank the Board of Education members and the central office administrators for their support and their role in preparing students for this milestone in their lives. I would also like to thank my administrative team, Ms. Bertram, Mr. Licata, Mrs. Weinheimer, and Mr. Zimmerly. They are educators who care very much about what is best for students, and I appreciate and admire the work they do every day to make Northwest such a great school. I would also like to thank Officer Thomas and Mr. Byrne for their supervision and dedication to keeping our students safe. It is also imperative that we thank our guidance counselors, Mrs. Emily Jones, Ms. Brittany Summers, and Mrs. Ginny Schuler. High school is a journey for sure, and these three women have worked with the graduates to check credits, schedule classes, register for the ACT, complete college applications, send transcripts, and as people to lean on during difficult times. The long hours they have worked and their diligence to make sure all of the students made it to the finish line today should be commended. Thank you to our guidance counselors. Additionally, I think I speak for our students and our families when I say we have an unbelievable staff who are devoted to the success of the students at Northwest High School. Our staff have high expectations, challenge our students, want the best for our students, and work around the clock to be there for our students. This year, our staff, just like our students, experienced a huge transition to remote learning and only had 24 hours to plan. And our staff did what they always do. They came together and decided how to best support and engage our students even if they could not be in person for lessons. I am proud to work alongside the staff of Northwest High School every day. A special thank you goes to the Northwest office staff, especially Pam Hoffman and Lisa Hunt for all of their help organizing many aspects of today's ceremony behind the scenes, and Ms. Bertram for the creation of our slideshow presentation. At this time, I would also like to thank Mrs. Holly Rodenbeck, our PTSA president, and Mrs. Dana Schoen, our booster president, who have been involved in many events to support the students and staff at Northwest High School. The boosters purchased the senior banners that were hung on the fence for each student, and the PTSA planned our prom fashion show. Both groups awarded scholarships to seniors this year, and we want to thank these organizations for their continued commitment to our community. We also appreciate Graduate Services for their help outfitting the graduates, and a huge thank you to Waycross Media for filming this ceremony along with our senior recognition event. They put in many hours to make these productions high quality, and we want to thank them. And I would be remiss if I didn't take a minute to congratulate all of the family members of the graduates. I know you are as proud of these students as I am. Each of you has played a significant part in shaping these graduates into the young men and women they are today. I always use the expression that it takes a village, and I appreciate that you have shared your students with us and trusted us to educate them in some of their most formative years. Graduates, please take a minute now and tell your families and the people who have supported and helped you to get to this point how much you appreciate them. Seniors, you have made it. When you asked me about how many senior skip days you get, I didn't know you meant you were not going to show up for all of fourth quarter. Just kidding. In all seriousness, you did show up, just like you always do, class of 2020. When life has thrown you unexpected twists, you show up and you do what is needed. At a time when I and many other staff members were worried about you and missing you and hoping you were safe, you showed up. You reached out to the staff and you asked us how we were doing. When the community needed you this year for support in the passing of one of our students, you showed up. When we wanted to pack the stands at a football or basketball game, you seniors showed up. What I think we have learned by not being able to physically be together for the past 2 months is that there are other ways to show up, to show you care, to be there for one another, to emerge from this challenge stronger than you were before. I would like to share a quote that's based on a Chinese proverb. The strongest steel is forged by the hottest fire. It is struck repeatedly before it's plunged back into the molten fire. The fire gives it power and flexibility, and the pressure gives it strength. Those two things make the metal able to withstand every battle it's called upon to fight. Seniors, you have made it through the fire this year, and you have come out stronger. I wish I could tell you that this is the last time you will be tested, the last time you will be put to the fire, but it isn't. Part of going through life is emerging from many different fires. I hope that what you have learned in your time at Northwest is to be prepared for these fires with the tools you need, to be resilient through adversity and challenges and obstacles, and to emerge from each one stronger. That's what Knights do. I wish you all the best in your next chapter of life, whatever that may be. Please remember that you always have a home at Northwest. I look forward to seeing what all of you will do and who you will become. Congratulations. At this time, I would like to introduce our first student speaker of the evening, summa cum laude graduate, Carly Boyd.
Dear class of 2020, we came into the year thinking the only disease that might keep us from coming to school would be senioritis. Surely, none of us imagined our time together ending this way. But if there's any class strong enough to stick it out in such trying times, it's this one. So instead of focusing on the things we've missed out on, let's take some time to remember all of the moments that have made high school so special. It's hard to believe that it was 4 years ago when most of us first walked the halls as freshmen of Northwest High School. Right away, we were placed into what seemed to be a whole new world. In this world, there were pep assemblies, spirit days, and some students even walked outside to get to class. Whether you eventually found your niche snuggling up in the library with the book club, playing an instrument in the band, planning events down to the detail in Student Senate, or even chanting the fight song at every home game, there's no doubt that somewhere along the way, being a Northwest Knight made you feel at home. You may not have known it then, but those long school days that turned into swift school years has everything to do with the person you are today. And just like that, just as we master maneuvering life as a high school student, the world tells us it's time to move on. This next chapter of our lives will surely present to us what will end up seeming like another whole new world. In this world, there will be more freedom, opportunities, and some people will even tell you you won't make it. No matter what path you take next, be confident in who you are and what you can achieve. No single person made it to this day by accident. It took late nights and early mornings, problem solving and building relationships, and for some of us, it took occasionally sweet-talking our teachers to extend a due date. But most of all, it took believing in ourselves. Believing in ourselves when we didn't know why and didn't know what would happen if we did. Each and every one of you is so unique and has so much worth believing in. Savannah, never stop diving into the things that mean the most to you. Your dedication to sports and to your church is truly inspiring. Your will to do good in the world will take you further than you can imagine. Halid, plenty of people know you as the person who's not afraid to make bets. Make sure when it really counts, when all odds seem to be against you, you place your bets on yourself. DeAnastasia, keep spending time in music. You love it. You've reminded me of the importance of surrounding myself with things that make me happy. You're going to remind so many more. Leah, your pure heart and extraordinary kindness makes everyone around you want to be a better person. Never stop being the warmest soul in the room. Everyone in our 2020 class possesses characteristics that set us apart and make us memorable. My hope for you is that when you enter these new chapters of life, when you find yourself in what seems to be a whole new world and everything around you is changing, you keep those defining elements of you the same. Congratulations, class of 2020, and of course, good luck. At this time, I would like to introduce Cassidy Race, Senior Nightlights member and dance captain, who will perform a song she has selected to share with the class of 2020.
I said, remember this moment in the back of my mind. The time we stood with our shaking hands, the crowds and stands went wild. We were the kings and the queens, and they read off our names. The night you danced like you knew our lives would traded your baseball cap for a crown. And they gave us our trophies, and we held them up for our town. And the cynics were outraged, screaming, "This is absurd." 'Cause for a moment a band of thieves with ripped up jeans got to rule the world. Long live the walls we crashed through, all the kingdom lights shine just for me and you. I was screaming, long live all the magic we made, and bring on all the pretenders. I'm not afraid. Long live all the mountains we moved. I had the time of my life fighting dragons with you. I was screaming, long live that look on your face, and bring on all the pretenders. One day we will be remembered. Hold on to spinning around. Confetti falls to the ground. May these memories break our fall. Can we take a moment? Promise me this. You'll stand by me forever. But if God forbid fate should step in and force us into a goodbye, if you have children someday, when they point to the pictures, please tell them my name. Tell them how the crowds went wild. Tell them how I hope they shine. Long live the walls we crashed through. I had the time of my life with you. Long, long live the walls we crashed through. All the kingdom lights shine just for me and you. I was screaming, long live all the magic we made, and bring on all the pretenders. I'm not afraid. Long live all the mountains we moved. I had the time of my life fighting dragons with you. I was screaming, long live that look on your face, and bring on all the pretenders. One day we will be remembered.
Thank you, Cassidy. That was wonderful. You are so talented. The class of 2020 would like to thank our PTSA Educators of the Year recipients, Mrs. Lori Spence and Mrs. Deb Humber. These two women stood out for their effort to go above and beyond for the students of Northwest High School, not for the recognition, but because they both have a passion for doing whatever it takes for our students to be successful. They have impacted the lives of thousands of students in their career, and they have definitely made lasting impressions, as the two of them receive more visitors from graduates than most staff members. They both will be retiring after this year and will be missed greatly, but we know the students of Northwest will always be in their hearts. Congratulations to Mrs. Peters and Mrs. King, who will also retire this year. Thank you for your years of service at Northwest High School and for how much you gave of your time, energy, and patience to support our students. Congratulations as well to our PTSA Friend of the Children Award winner, our amazing librarian, Mrs. Bethany Miller. We also need to thank a very important person to the class of 2020, Mrs. Stoser. Mrs. Stoser has organized many fundraisers and events for this class as the OAB advisor. This is a thankless job, but Mrs. Stoser has worked many hours outside of her teaching schedule to ensure these high school years were memorable and enjoyable for this class. When prom couldn't take place in person, she arranged a virtual event. She also coordinated the purchase of a yard sign for each member of the senior class so that we could recognize our students. Thank you, Mrs. Stoser, for all you did for the class of 2020. In addition to being the class sponsor, Mrs. Stoser teaches AP and CCP chemistry, as well as the chemistry class for our cosmetology students. and it is clear that she has built strong relationships with many of the seniors this year, and they have chosen her to be their selected staff speaker for tonight's ceremony. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Mrs. Danielle Stoser.
A Knight's Tale for the class of 2020. A tale for a class of worthy students who from the very beginning displayed chivalry, loved the idea of loyalty, and good influence, generosity, and courtesy. I thought about how I'd be looking into a camera and talking to all of you directly. I thought about how the hardest part of social distancing is our separation from each other. I thought about how we miss the connection we are used to feeling on a daily basis. How we were used to seeing the same faces throughout the school day. And I wondered how I could make it feel as though all of us were together, all of the Northwest family together. And I thought about breath, how we all breathe blue and gold, how it runs through our being. So place your hand on your chest with me and feel the blue and gold. Feel your family. Feel the crowded hallways. Hear the advisory and afternoon announcements. Rush to your class after the warning bell. Feel the styrofoam lunch trays. Touch to turn your locker combination. See the Friday night lights of a home football game in the castle. Smell the cafeteria food cooking. Feel the turning of a page in a book, and hear your music in your ears walking from class to class. These things don't define you, but they mold you. These memories are not lost, but foundational. These things aren't Northwest. These things we experience are within us. We are Northwest. You are Northwest. Northwest may be a building, but Knight culture is a feeling. Being a Knight is in your soul, and this is not the end of your journey. These experiences helped you develop your goals, your dreams, and as Knights, they will help you move forward in the path of your new quest. And whether your quest be for knowledge, money, or safety of country, one must remember the Knight's code of conduct. Such things included are humility, courage, and honor. Humility is a must for a Knight. Before you became Knights, you must learn from others as a squire. Listening and learning from others shows the most personal kind of humility. It shows that you do not know everything. It shows you have weaknesses. As Knights, we need to realize that it is impossible to know everything, and we must lean on others for success. Thinking you can do everything on your own is a Knight's biggest downfall. We must strive to work together, to work as a community, for in community there is strength. In order to show strength, Knights must display courage. When researching the definition of courage, I came across strength in the face of pain and grief. As a Knight family, we are all grieving that we cannot be together, but as Knights, we must show strength. So let your courage define you now, not your grief. You have worked hard for this moment. No one can take that away from you. No one can take away the fact that you have worked extremely hard these past 4 years to receive your high school diploma. It is what you do next that will exhibit your courage. Because you need more than 4 years to accomplish your goals, develop your dreams, and realize your value. Use your courage and take your time to develop your skills and goals. Realize you will need your Knight courage to face adversity, face failures. But realize it is through your failures and using your courage you will develop your own path. And in the face of adversity, the Knight's honor is truly at the center of their being. Your honor is one of the only few things you can control. Your honor is who you are all the time. It is who you are through your failures and triumphs. Your honor is your passion. It is important to remember that Knights use their honor to display their best self. But one of the most important things you must know about Knights class of 2020 is that they are known for their quests. Knights do not waver from the unknown, the uncertainty. We do not shudder in the path of change. We do not dwell on what could have been. Because when one quest ends, a new one begins. Knights realize long-term goals are only achieved with courage and persistence. Knights lean on others when they need help. They display courage even in the face of sadness, and they exhibit honor through all walks of their life. So, class of 2020, how will you move forward in your new quest? Class of 2020, I dub thee Knights. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Stoser. There are several students in the class of 2020 who have accomplished impressive academic feats and need to be recognized this evening. These academic distinctions are determined by a student's cumulative weighted grade point average throughout their 4 years at Northwest. Summa cum laude graduates for the class of 2020 have earned a 4.40 or higher cumulative grade point average. They are students who have earned a weighted cumulative grade point average of a 4.16 or higher have obtained the distinction of magna cum laude. They are cum laude graduates are those that have earned at least a 3.57 weighted grade point average throughout their high school careers. These students are because of the hard work and academic abilities of the students of the class of 2020, collectively, over $2.2 million was awarded to this group of students by colleges and universities. There are 21 students in this class who were inducted into the National Honor Society. These students excel not only in the classroom, but serve their community and are involved in extracurricular activities as well. This group of students runs the free tutoring program we have at Northwest High School, and were selected to be in this prestigious group because of their character, leadership, and work ethic. Congratulations to our NHS members. Our partnership with Butler Tech has afforded many students opportunities in career technical education. Students are able to choose from 14 programs between the Northwest and Colerain campuses. Additionally, students from 10 neighboring school districts, including Northwest, enroll in programs on 4 Butler Tech campuses: D. Russell Lee, Natural Science Center, Bioscience Medical School, and School of the Arts. We would like to recognize the hard work of these graduates and congratulate them on taking advantage of what career tech programming has to offer. Perfect attendance is awarded to students who have no absences, no tardies, and no early dismissals from school. 2 students in this class have 2 straight years of perfect attendance, Leah Kistner and Austin Huff. And 1 student has been in attendance every day for all 4 years of high school, Anthony Wendland. This means that he was present for 720 consecutive school days, well, at least through March 12th. Congratulations to Anthony. There are several students in this class who have made the decision to enlist with the military upon graduation. At this time, we want to thank these young men and women for their patriotism and commitment to protect the freedoms of our country as official members of the armed forces. Additional awards were given to students that we would like to acknowledge at this time. Teachers in each department nominated 2 students to recognize on Senior Honors Night for their overall contributions to the courses the students took in that department. Medals were given to the students signifying their excellence in the academic content of these classes. At this time, I would like to invite senior summa cum laude graduate speaker Allison Ackerman to the podium to address the class of 2020.
Hello, friends. It is an honor to have the opportunity to address you today as fellow graduates of Northwest High School. While this is not the graduation speech I had ever imagined giving, I hope it leaves you with a smile on your face and a renewed sense of pride in the past 4 years that we have spent together. First and foremost, I want to express the gratitude that I have for the lifetime of memories we have shared. It breaks my heart to know that I may never get the chance to say goodbye. But I want you to know that each and every one of you has made an impact on my life. From my kindergarten best friend, to my teammates, to the classmate that always smiled when we crossed paths in the hallways, you all have truly seen me through the good, the bad, and the ugly. We have faced trials as a class, especially in this past year. But we are stronger because we faced them together. So thank you for being willing to navigate high school with me, side by side. I would also like to take a moment to thank our teachers, without whom we would not have made it to this moment today. Thank you to my coaches for teaching me what it means to persevere, even when the task ahead seems impossible, and for putting up with me all these years. Thank you to Mrs. Long for helping me to find my passion in life and for providing guidance along the way. And thank you to all of our teachers for your devotion to our class over the past 4 years. We could not have done it without you. Our chapter at Northwest may be coming to an end, but our stories are just beginning. Now more than ever, the future may seem uncertain. We do not know what our world is going to look like tomorrow, let alone in 10 years. But in 2 Timothy, it says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear and timidity, but of power, love, and self-discipline." I want to encourage you to pursue your dreams with power, but most importantly, with love. Be confident in who you are and chase after your goals boldly, but remember to love. Love those around you and love what you are doing, because if you truly have a passion for something, I have no doubt that you are going to change this world. You are all going to do great things, and I am so excited to hear about what you accomplish. In closing, I would like to leave you with these words. Remember who you are. Never compromise the things that make you, you for anyone, and never forget the time that you spent at Northwest High School. I know that it is difficult to not be together today to celebrate our achievements, but regardless of the distance that separates us, we will always be connected through our years together. For as we have heard many of our teachers say, once a night, always a night. Congratulations, class of 2020. We made it.
Thank you, Allison. Beyond academic recognition, the class of 2020 also excelled outside the classroom through their participation in extracurricular activities, community service, and many of our students also worked part or full-time jobs. One group of hardworking students are those that were members of our band, orchestra, and chorus groups. Thank you to our musical directors, Mr. Heening, Mrs. Crawford, and Mr. Murata, and to these students who represented Northwest well during music competitions and who put on excellent performances this year. Northwest High School has a strong partnership with the Cincinnati Police Federal Credit Union. We have a student branch of the credit union in our school's cafeteria, and we would like to thank Ms. Robin Lind and Mrs. Tammy West for their support and dedication to our school and to the financial literacy of our students, as well as Mr. Clark for the work he does to lead this group of students. We would also like to recognize the managers of the Knights Credit Union, Michael Cordray and Lauren Russell. The only way to truly capture all of the memories of the past year is through pictures and captions in our yearbook, The Excalibur. Thank you to the hard work of a few seniors in particular, Eric Guzman, Morgan Hughes, and Emma Colgren, for their leadership with this publication under the direction of Mr. Gillian. Being a leader and being able to take initiative are important qualities to having success in life. At this time, we would like to recognize the senior class OAB officers. President Serenity Robertson, Vice President Isaiah Shields, Secretary Carly Boyd, and Treasurer Deja Brown. Thank you to these officers for their help with planning many senior class activities and creating us many memories. Our Student Senate executive members organize community service events, pep rallies, dances, staff and student recognition events, spirit weeks, fed needy families in our community during the holidays, and ran organization meetings. This group is led by Mrs. Bowling, Mrs. Young, and Mrs. Daly. Seniors that were a part of the Student Senate executive team were President Leah Kistner and Recording Secretary Allison Ackerman. Northwest High School has a program that provides students with an additional pathway to graduation called the Knights Success Academy. Students recovered credits while also being employed. This group had a 100% graduation rate and was extremely successful under the leadership of our two teachers, Mrs. Spence and Mrs. LaValle. The following students are graduating from the KSA program this year. Our senior student athletes had a memorable year as well. 71 student athletes were recognized by the Southwest Ohio Conference as a member of the all-academic team, carrying a 3.5 GPA while earning a varsity letter. 14 student athletes have been named to the all Southwest Ohio Conference teams in their respective sports. Also, there are 3 students in this graduating class who have signed letters of intent to play sports at the collegiate level: Savannah Chapin, Daniel Gross, and Morgan Hughes. And something for which we should be very proud is that our student athletes have amassed a cumulative 3.06 grade point average throughout the school year. Finally, we have 2 members of the class of 2020 who have earned the distinct honor of being named to the Eagle Scouts: Connor Pacini and Isaiah Shields. This is a milestone accomplishment that is recognized throughout the country and the world. Congratulations to these 2 students for this outstanding achievement. At this time, I would like to introduce Leah Kistner, summa cum laude graduate, to the podium for the senior farewell speech.
Good morning, Northwest High School. Today is Monday, May 18th, and this is our graduation. I still remember the first time I gave the morning announcements on what feels like forever ago. While now I could practically give them in my sleep, that day I was so nervous I was shaking where I stood. A little fun fact about me is that talking to people, even those who I know and trust, kind of scares me. I'm the kind of person who rehearses every conversation before I actually have them. I was so scared that I was going to embarrass myself and mess everything up, that I would mix up my words or say the wrong thing, and there were no retakes or chances of starting over. But everything was fine. I may have stumbled a bit, but I made it through. The next day, I was still nervous. Even though I had already spoken to the entire school once, what if it was a fluke? What if I messed it up today? Each day I came down to the office, I worried about what would happen, but each day, that fear became smaller and smaller, to the point where it was just a thought I could push away to the back of my mind. As time went on, it became easier to talk to people too. I saw myself starting the conversation rather than just chiming in every once in a while. And that's kind of like high school, right? Our freshman year, we walked in not really knowing what to expect, with no chances of starting the day over. We had to learn how to manage our time and fit in as best we could. It became easier, though, as time went on. Once we got our bearings, we started figuring out our interests and who we wanted to surround ourselves with. At the end of the road, we look back from where we started and see how much every one of us has grown.
At the end of the day, there is nothing that we cannot accomplish without a little determination. I know how disappointing it is on this special day to not be with one another right now, to not get to walk across the stage and be recognized for everything we've worked so hard for. It is tough to keep staying positive amidst everything going on, to feel like you are not succeeding. I want to remind you that even though we are not in an arena surrounded by a crowd, that does not take away any of the accomplishments we have all made. Our success has been seen in all those who work to juggle school, homework, sports, clubs, and even a job to support themselves and their families. It is seen in those willing to give their heart and soul into everything that they are passionate about, not stopping until they have reached their goal. It is seen in those who spend all night working on projects when they could have easily given up and chosen to fail. It is seen in those who rally behind others in a time of need, showing unending love and kindness. All of these things and more are what contributes to the class of 2020's success. 10 steps across the stage and a piece of paper say so little compared to your character and how you choose to act. I know that we will continue to be successful in the coming future because I have seen how these past few months have made us stand together. Life has a way of trying us. It pushes us to our limits, showing what we are capable of enduring. From experience, I have learned that it is always worth it in the end. Congratulations to the class of 2020. Let's go show the world what we can do.
Thank you, Leah. It has been a tradition for several years that our graduates' names are read by their advisory or homeroom teachers who have worked with your students every day the last 4 years. We are going to honor that tradition this evening. The state of Ohio has criteria to award students honors diploma if graduates meet difficult academic and career technical qualifications. Students who have met the criteria for an honors diploma will be recognized this evening as well. The advisor will read with honors after the students' names who will receive an honors diploma or a career technical honors diploma. At this time, I'm honored to introduce to you our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Todd Bowling. Mr. Bowling, it gives me great pleasure to present to you the members of the Northwest High School Class of 2020. I hereby certify that the candidates seated before you have met the requirements prescribed by the Board of Education, and I present them to you for the conferring of diplomas.
On behalf of the Northwest Local School District Administration, I wish to congratulate the graduating class of 2020. Mrs. Smith, the credentials of the candidates presented today have been reviewed. The candidates are entitled to the diplomas they will receive from Northwest High School. Congratulations.
Tyler Jacob Abney.
Allison Marie Ackerman with honors. Kai and Teres Akoff. Kenyon Malik Akoff. Desmond Rashad Adams. Leslie Elizabeth Aguilara Ramos with honors.
Manuel Felix Ahiates Chaparron.
Austin Michael Akers. David Lee Asher. Demisha Janae Atkins. Hannah Ann Austin with honors. Lizbeth Angelica Baez. Riley Paige Baldock. Dominic Robert Baldrick. Morgan Colette Rasan Banks. Kylie Paige Barge.
Cameron Todd Beck. Quentin Taylor Beckman. Cleo Frankie Starr Bennett. Ethan Grant Bennett.
Marciana Nicole Benson. Bryson Deshawn Berry.
Christian James Bishop. Nishma Bizwa. Tanaya Lavette Blair. Travis Allen Bowl. Millicent Sina Bonney with honors. Bruce Allen Bostick. Carly Aaron Boyd with honors. Deja Renee Brown with honors. Kobe Darrell Brown. Paige Lakina Brown. Zaire Deshawn Bunton with honors. Dwight Antonio Cade. Tyler Matthew Callahan. Asia Ari Carnes.
Jade Nicole Carter. Kawan Alexander Carter.
Taylor Denise Carter.
Kabita Kamlagai. Savannah Gail Chapin with honors. Jaleesa Nicole Chappelle. Warren Chapman. Sathvik Reddy Charity. Hannah Rain Chimento with honors. Anthony Isaiah Clark. Simon Joshua Coffey with honors. Deja Jeanette Cole with honors. Clay Allen Collins. Michael Lee Cordray. Taylor Nicholas Cormican. Zacchaeus Roger Lee Cruz. Tiana Renee Culberson.
Blake Matthew Allen Cunningham. Akaya Nicole Daniels.
Hassan Warren Davis. Caleb Cole Davis. Noah Isaac Davis with honors.
Colby James Derringer. Michael Terry Deathridge. Talanzie Tamaya Rain Durr. Amari Lamia Dogan. Yasmin Felicia Renee Dowdy. Kinaila Ciasia DeBose. Javon Ramir Dula. Gage Michael Lou Edwards. Robert Scott Eisenecker. Khaled Wayel El Kasim. Robert Floyd Emerson. Lanaya Annette Engelman. Quayle AJ Evans. Peyton Michael Feldman. Kylie Lynn Fetty. Sydney Ann Fisher. Rihanna Aaron Fisher. Noah William Floyd. Naomi Faith Flynn.
Cameron Noel Ford with honors. Jackson Gabriel Gehring. Narajan Gali. Janisha Marche Gilbert. Elena Starr Goins. Stephen Michael Grau. Michaela Simone Green. Tia Marie Greenlee.
Elissa Marie Griggs.
Daniel Arthur Gross. Eric Guzman. Abigail Shea Gwinner. Dakota Marie Hampton.
Connor Patrick Harmon with honors. Quentin Anthony Earl Harris Baird. Dervon Anthony Henderson. Jasmine Denna Hendricks. Natalie Jean Hersom.
Isaiah Peyton Hill. Kaylee Nicole Hill with honors. Colin William Hines. Devontae Raymond Hinkle. Kamaya Lene Hollins. Mackenzie Nicole Honeybrink. Deanastasia Otisha Horsley. Tayshawn Antonio Horton. Elise Mar Hoskins with honors. Austin Richard Huff. Chelsea Lynn Huffman. Morgan Ashley Hughes. Kayla Shay Hurley. Dakota Michael Eibold. Javon Jonta Jackson. Xaviana LaCara Jackson. Seth Riley Jaycox. Justin Christopher Jefferson. Inalyn Jessica Hiroshi John. Dalen Lamar Johnson. Jasmine Renee Johnson with honors. Kadeem Russell Johnson. Callista Jade Johnson. Kamari Venetia Johnson. Alyssa Gabrielle Jordan.
Reshma Kathleen. Gregory Daniel Kesson. Peyton Alexander Kinman. Leah Michelle Kistner with honors. Emma Marie Colgren with honors. Terrence Jermaine Lackey. Cedric Fitzgerald Lampkin. Mazzie May Land. Luke Anthony Leesgang.
Alexander Thomas Lopez.
Juan Lopez Gomez. Antonio Dominic Love Jr. Marcus Juan Mabry II.
Kalpana Magar.
Jordan Antonio Marsh. Selah Imani Martin. Bryce Chong Marvin. Zarek Marquise Matthews. Sean McDaniel Jr. Casey Ray McMullen.
Walter Ishmael Mencia. Keziah Dontrell Nazier Milner.
Sydney Noel Mitchell. Leo Charles Moeller.
Sital Monger.
Jalen Christopher Moore. Elizabeth Morgan Mueller with honors.
Justin Howard Neal II.
Ethan Zing Newton. Jaria Norris. Adam Connor Osborne. Courtney B. Owens.
Juan Ronaldinho Perez Ahiates.
Nevea Nicole Perkins. Alexandria Lee Pitcher. Aaliyah Jordan Pitts. Connor James Puccini. Babita Puri. Cassidy Marie Race. Jyoti Rai, Dylan Allen Reese, Carly Elizabeth Reinhardt, with honors. Robert Michael Roach, Reginald Cecil Roberts, Serenity Michaela Robertson, with honors. Heaven Lynn Robinson, Austin James Rottinghouse, Harmony Shylin Russell, Lauren Ashley Russell,
Christian Uriel Salgado,
Leonardo Otonio Sanchez Juarez.
Amaya Cheyenne Saunders.
Grant Tony Hugh Shaman,
Shelby Lynn Shawbaugh.
Winter Star C, Austin Ryan Sellers, Willabelle Serrano, Isaiah Malachi Shields, Faith Ann Shockley, Samara Narissa Short, Jennifer Christine Siragosa, with honors. Jordan Andrew Smith, Austin William Sodeman, Shane DeFranco Sperlin, Scott James Spurrier,
Benjamin Edward St. Clair, Joshua Lee Stanfield, Azriel Elena Stevens, Malathan Mael Allen Tate, Anasia Nakia Taper, Tyreek Rayshawn Terrell, Leasia Lachey Thompson, Paul Michael Thompson III, Genesis Christine Towles, Peyton Simone Townsend, Bailey Matthew Tucker, Najee Nicole Turner, Selena Marin Turner,
Benjamin James Walden, Dante Jermaine Walker,
Juanita Mary Alice Wallace.
Cheyenne Lynn Warner, Anthony James Wedlin, with honors.
Daryl Denzel White.
Tiana May Whitaker, Braden Jordan Williams, Mizell Divine Williams, Brandon Scott Woods, Ariana Sarah Woody, Tyler Rain Wooten, Nicholas Ty Yun.
One of the traditions we have at Northwest High School is to select one female and one male each year to represent the class as Mr. and Miss Northwest. Staff members select students based not just on their academic accomplishments, but their well-roundedness, integrity, school spirit, passion, involvement in the school and community, and their character. Not only are these students selected by the staff, the senior class also votes on who should receive this honor. So these two students impress not only the adults in the building, but their peers as well. Today, I would like to introduce Miss Northwest, Leah Kistner, and Mr. Northwest, Isaiah Shields.
A graduation ceremony is filled with many traditions. Some are new, while some traditions date back centuries. The mortar boards that the graduates wear have been associated with commencement exercises for centuries. Pomp and circumstance was first performed in England in 1901 and has become associated with graduation since.
There is, however, one more tradition we must fulfill this evening. Our tassels are currently worn on the right, but must be moved to the left to signify that we have earned our diploma. This indicates that we have graduated, and as part of this ceremony, this will be the final tradition that we will celebrate together as a class. Graduates, please stand and join me in moving our tassels to the left. Congratulations, Northwest High School Class of 2020.